Morning. So I never went out the day to do a video because there's big dark clouds kicking about saying I'm going to rain heavily on you in 3 seconds and drench you, which is what happens. So looking around the alternate coffee, electrolytes, put a bottle of electrolytes first thing in the morning, that's vitally important out here. Get the powder from the 7-Elevens or whatever. But yeah, Rangers right now, it's an international week, so that always curtails things, puts things down. Yeah, I see Charmiti, there's what talk other people have said, and last night in the chat people said that there's somebody might buy him at Christmas, the Christmas transfer window or something. No, there's no way that'll happen. But then there is some people saying it. But again, wait till the seas get the hat scarf above his head at another club. But if we're getting rid of him in any way, even if he goes out on loans, that means we're getting a striker in. Let's be honest. Whether we've got somebody already lined up, I don't know. We'll see. So international week, it's good to see Connor Barron called up. I think it's, sorry about that when the humidity makes your nose run. Connor Barron's called up. You know, I'm surprised he's not on already, but saying that the Scottish midfield is pretty solid. We've got to admit, you know. I can't remember who it is who plays. Is it Turkey? We play and somebody in Norway or something like that at Hampden, and if we win one and somebody doesn't lose, we qualify for the World Cup. And I really hope we do qualify, you know, because it'll be great. You know, in the summer, when the football's not on, when the Rangers not about, having the World Cup's great. I always loved World Cup years. I know the time. God, what time will the games be for me? I'll be all over the place. I say, aye. Well, I'm just like 12 hours behind, I think, Los Angeles. So 12. I feel I'm going to have awkward times, but I'm looking forward to the World Cup, and I hope Scotland get there because a lot of my friends that I grew up with, vast majority of Rangers fans. There's not none of them are really Celtic fans or Celtic minded, but that's not a bad thing. No, there is, but they would go to it. You know, they're big Tartan Army guys, and don't get me wrong, they know that what the Tartan Army has, it's tubes amongst them, but it's always sad when you hear the Rangers fans falling out with them, is because when I was growing up in the 80s, going to Scotland games, at Hampden was mostly Rangers fans in the crowd. You know, 70% of us, you know, we were right behind the Scotland team. It didn't matter who scored for the team, we were all over the place. Somebody asked me last night about my favourite goal for Scotland. I can't remember, I should have googled it. Remember we had to beat, I think it was Norway in a playoff at Hampden. And I was in section J, the Rangers end, you know, behind the goals. Somebody scored an absolute peach. I think it was at McAvenny. I can't remember. But anyway, on to Rangers. The international breaks come at the right time for me. I'm going to assume some of the players are away home, even Danny Rowe will be away home for a break. Everyone deserves time off. Or maybe Danny Rowe, maybe he's the kind of person, he'll still be in Glasgow and he'll be full on into the recruitment, helping with the recruitment process. Because we've read that he's doing a report for Mr. Kavanagh, how he sees the club, how he sees the training staff, how he sees the where we are as a club, where we are as a football team, where we are as a squad. So I don't think Rangers fans will be privy to that. We can more or less guess what he's going to say because we can see it ourselves. You know, we're severely lacking. But what Mr. Roll has done, what Danny's done, he's galvanised us as a unit, a team. You know, but individuals are letting us down. You know, the biggest disappointment for me right now is Raskin, because he came back after the fallout with the haircut. And he had one great game and he's not performed to his peak since he goes through games. Now what he reminded me of, and this was when we were chatting in the live podcast last night, what that reminded me of was when Laudrup was here. Once he knew he was going to Chelsea, that last season he had with us, he downgraded a little bit, and it was, I think it kind of said to a lot of us, he was protecting himself, he didn't want to get a long-term injury. Has Raskin had somebody rabbit in his ear for a Christmas transfer, and that's it playing at his back, he's thinking, God, I don't want to get injured, you know. He's also just broke into the Belgium national team, the World Cup's coming up, is he thinking like that? And remember, the guy did have a poor start to us, injury-wise, you know, so is there a psychological doubt in his head that, oh God, I might miss out on this transfer, I might miss out on the World Cup? Just me surmising, me guessing. Outside that, you know, it'll be a quiet week. That's the sun coming poking through. It'll be a quiet week on the Rangers front. Well, maybe not, because we're still to bring in a coach, a Rangers-minded coach, somebody that's played in Scotland, that's from Scotland, a Rangers fan, or played with the club. Chatting in the chat last night again, it was good crack last night. All you were on, it was good fun, because when I do the podcast thing, I don't always just stick to Rangers. I can waffle away. I can waffle away on all sorts, you know. These are good. And what I'm going to do on my personal channel, people ask me about rent and cost of living in Thailand. I'll do a video on all that. I know when you look at, you'll see behind me the paint and the paint come off. Every house has got that in Thailand. That's because of the rain and all that. So I know it's a bit, but no, this is a nice area. It's really nice, a quiet cul-de-sac, as you can hear. And I don't like saying this, I think it's kind of middle class place. So when it comes to Rangers, oh yeah, a coach. Do you know who I would like as the Rangers-minded coach, even though that wasn't there long? Big Duncan Ferguson. I would have him at Rangers in a coaching way, a bit of steel. I know when you see he's been doing a lot of podcasts recently, I can listen to him all day. That's a huge personality. He would be good at the team, but I think when he's asked at the Rangers, I think his love for Rangers is gone, you know, because of what happened, you know, and it wasn't a good time. It was, you know, I think he only played 12 times and that thing happened. And I remember his first goal when he scored for Rangers. He scored at the Copland Road end, and he started greeting. You can see it going to hang. You can see him going to hang because he scored for his boyhood heroes. If he come back to Rangers in a coaching role, I think the love would come back. Whether he would want to come back to Rangers, whether he would want to be a number two, is his eyes on a managerial role. I still think he's still got a bit of apprenticeship to do in that role, you know. But with a big personality, would Danny Rowe like that? Because that's a strong personality. If out the normal ones, Lee Wallace, if I had to pick out of them all, I'd probably go for Neil McCann. That's who my personal one would be. No, my number one would be Duncan Ferguson, but that's not going to happen, I think. But out of the ones that are probability, I would go with Neil McCann. You know, I know Billy Dodd's name's kicking about Stevie Davis, but it would Neil McCann for me. So, what day is it? It's great losing track of days. Tuesday the 11th. So, I hope you're all well. It's International Week today. We've got a big one this week in Thailand. Thailand versus Singapore, a local derby. So, there we go. Cheers. Speak to you later.